What are you doing today, Bradley?
Yeah, we're beefing up our trap selection because apparently predators getting pretty bad. Had a lot of customers asking for more traps, and I've been catching several at my house actually. I've been live trapping them, giving them to a guy, so we're beefing it up. Hopefully we can meet the need.
What kind of traps are people buying the most of, Brad?
Well, we've had more call for the leg traps than we have anything else, and actually these have been pretty hot item. The coon cuff, we've been selling a lot of these. Kind of hard to keep in stock, but apparently they're working good. People like them. You know, once mid-November hits and the regular trapping season starts, you know, people are going to pick up a lot of the leg traps. Later season Kona bear is going to kick in. They're going to start trapping the beaver. You know, and we even got the snares too. You know, we actually sell several of them. People that want to, they catch coyotes and stuff, catch them alive. So quite a selection.
Have you been trapping any?
Yeah, actually I have been. The coon have been pretty rough on my garden. They annihilated my corn this year. I like the live trap myself. I don't keep the hide, so I just catch them and do the relocation program. Works good. I've caught several.
Well, one of these days I'll have to come up there and I just actually want to see you messing with one of those just wild coons in that trap.
So how'd Baker take the picking on him again that I seen last show?
Well, you know, he had his usual complaining, but you know, I told him, hey, if you're going to sleep in, you're going to get a little of it. However, I will say this, you know, he did get to end the show with killing a real nice buck, so I think probably he'll take that trade every day.
Cool. So how did you guys get hooked up? How did you meet anyway, get started?
Well, you know, he bugged me to death for quite a while, and I finally caved. Didn't take him a lot of time to get his feet wet. He jumped in with me the first day in a tree, and I could tell you about it, but I think it'll be just as easy to show you. He's still around. Can't get rid of him. In 2007, my family started Buck Addiction with two goals in mind: designing affordable food plot blends and feeding our addiction to hunting. I design the seed blends and run the company with my wife, Brandy. Tristan just likes to shoot stuff, and Cody runs the camera and keeps us entertained. We needed a squad to help bring Buck Addiction TV to life. Jordan provides the humor.
Just got pooped on again.
Matt provides the sarcasm.
Can't believe you got me out here filming when it's raining. That's stupid as well.
And Jason, well, he's just happy to be here. We also needed some partners to help us reach our goal. Delta Ag makes our plants grow. Grow the Bone makes our bucks grow. Black Widow helps us lure them in close. And Fin de Fur helps us with everything from our boots to our bows. Welcome to our world. The addiction starts now. We picked up a new lease about 30 minutes from the house last year. This farm is primarily used for cattle, so it contained a lot of pasture ground and a lot of brush. With the cattle being there, we couldn't do traditional food plots. We went in and overseeded the clover variety out of our power perennial into all these existing pastures. On October 19th, Jordan Land and I took a little trip up just to do some scouting. We went back to check one of the spots where we broadcast this clover, and what we found was the most buck sign I have ever seen.
With all that buck sign, we knew we had to get back in there quick, so we loaded up the truck, headed back to town, got the stands, went back out there, and got ready for the afternoon hunt.
We're out on one of our new leases. It's 19th of October. We've only hunted this farm twice on another part of the farm. We came in, set up these stands 30 minutes ago. Got ready to walk back, and there's already doing a fawn here, which we ran off, so we're gonna sit down and get a buck killed. I almost guarantee it. First night we saw several bucks, including a 130 class 10 point. Even though he was a good buck, I was waiting for something a little older. Jordan and I just sat back and enjoyed the evening. The next day I went back to the clover patch to tweak the stands a little bit and check the cuddy-back camera that I'd left the day before. When I got back home, I reviewed the pictures and I had a shot of a massive, fully mature 8-point. He wasn't the greatest scoring deer in the world, but he looked to be 250 plus, and for a deer here in southern Missouri, that's a stud. Well, the good news is I've now got a buck that I really want to chase. Bad news is Jordan's got to go back to work, and as of now, I don't have a cameraman.
My love for the outdoors, along with a job that allows me quite a bit of time off through the week, made working with Kevin and the rest of the buck addiction crew a no-brainer. Over the past several years, I've been fortunate enough to take a couple of really nice bucks. I knew how much cooler it'd be to have the hunt on film and to be able to share the experience with somebody in the tree.
Well, Jason loves to hunt. He's always wanting to go, so we'll see if he can handle it.
Did you get any good buck picks?
Got a few. Take a look at this guy.
Doesn't look like he's going to score very well.
No, he's probably just in the 120s, but I will guarantee you that deer is 5.5 or older.
He's definitely mature, just not much rack.
The hardest thing to explain to all these young guys is that the term shooter doesn't always apply to score.
Well, if you like him, let's go get him.
As far as I'm concerned, a mature buck over 250 pounds is a shooter anywhere.
What's the wind going to be from that?
Southeast, 10 to 15 miles an hour.
Southeast ain't going to work.
Yeah, I know that, but we've only been in there one time. These deer haven't been pressured at all. We've only been on the farm 3 times. I think he's worth the risk.
I feel like a kid at Christmas now. I finally got Kevin talked in to let me help him. I just really hope I don't mess up.
This first time out with Jason, part of me was really wanting to see the big 300-pound deer that I had seen that we named Tank. The other part of me was kind of hoping he didn't come on the first night. But as it almost always happens, Jason's going to get tested immediately. Buck coming right here. You want him? Get your screen out. On him. Smoked him. Smoked him. He just crashed, baby. I think that's Tank. Did you see how big a body that deer was? Let me tell you what that was, my man. That was 30 yards. Funk, funk.
Hell of a shot.
Hey, it smoked him.
Yeah.
Could you see the luminop? Did it light up?
I couldn't see.
Were you on him pretty good?
Yeah, I was on
Pretty
good.
tight.
I was on good.
You're recording, I hope.
Yes.
Is that awesome? Oh, that's a pretty good deer too. Did you see how big? I think that's Tank. Is that not? Is that?
He's tall too. He's tall.
Hey man, how do you like your first day in a tree?
Behind the camera, it's awesome. Oh yeah, I'm hooked. I'm hooked. Well, I'm a little disappointed. When I zoomed in for the kill shot, it went out of focus and I didn't quite catch it. I'm starting to realize this filming isn't quite as easy as it looks.
I'll tell you, nothing makes me much happier than to be sitting behind a fully mature 5.5 or 6.5-year-old deer. We've got pictures of this guy. I named him Tank. I hope the footage did him justice. This is, I'm gonna guess, a 250-pound deer, and for southern Missouri, that's big. He just came in perfectly. Not the greatest scoring rack that you're ever gonna see. Probably not the best rack you'll see from us this year, but tell you what, anytime you see a fully mature animal, I will not even be surprised if he's not a little older than that and actually declining.
Well, it all pretty much worked out. First time in a tree with a camera, got to film a kill. Well, I spent most of the season paying my dues. I got to film Kevin kill a couple of really nice bucks, and late season rolled around and it's finally my turn. We'd planted over 100 acres of our brassicas at one of our farms, and with all the luck we'd been having at the lease, we were able to leave it alone for most of the year. Hadn't had any pressure, hadn't really been hunting much. The area we were hunting was actually a open field that was back over a ridge behind where we'd planted all the brassicas. I had some good bedding ground back behind this field, and as we started to hunt there, we seen that it was evident that the bucks were there. Shooters, we were seeing shooters about every night that we went, but when they come out in that open field, they just want to scoot right across. They wasn't spending no time out there. They just wanted to go straight to the food. We seen the big bucks. We knew they were there, but we didn't have a clue what the adventure is going to be to try to get one killed. Our initial setups on this farm, we'd set up on the north side of the field, and the deer kept on wanting to use the south side of it. So we seen a old round bell ring down there, and we decided we'd go down there, try to brush it in, and see if we could get it done out of that.
We've kind of went off the map today. We've been hunting this north farm for about a week and a half now. Every day we come, we're seeing shooters, and they've just been outsmarting us a little bit, I guess you'd say. We've had several sets here, but every time we set up, they go a different direction. We've actually moved a hay ring that was been out in the field for probably a couple years now. We've moved it just a little bit, set up kind of a makeshift blind, and the last few nights the bucks have been traveling right through this area. Don't know if we're crazy or if it's a smart thing, so maybe it'll work. Stick with us, see what happens this evening.
It ended up being a pretty good setup. I was brushed in real good in the round bell ring. Kevin was back behind me up against the bank, and we thought it was going to work out pretty good. We had a group of does and some bucks that we'd been seeing about every night. They started working their way towards us, and the group of bucks were, of course, back behind the does. Later in the evening, the does got up pretty close to us, and one of the does spooked and saw us, and that ended the hunt for that night. After spooking the deer in the round bell ring, we decided that the deer probably moved back towards the north just a little bit. We'd spotted a good cedar tree right up on top of the hill. Actually, there's a group of cedars. It was kind of a happy medium between where we'd started and where we went to in the round bell ring, and we set up a ground blind there, brushed it in really good around the cedar tree, and we decided we'd try that and see if that would work.
It's December 16th. This will be our last hoorah before the muzzleloader season comes back in. We got close to the 9-pointer last night finally, but ended up not being quite big enough. We passed on him. And we're just hoping that one of the bigger 8s, or maybe a bigger deer we haven't seen yet, come through here. We're back up here at the North Farm, hunting a little ways back from the quick fix food plot. It's not real cool this evening, but a little cooler than it has been the last couple of days. So maybe that'll get them back moving.
During our hunts so far, the bucks have been coming out as they normally do the last 10, 15 minutes of light. But on this particular hunt, we had a wide 8-pointer that we'd seen a couple times before. He made his way out pretty early, plenty of daylight left, and he was working his way across the field right towards us. With this ground blind setup, it ended up Kevin had to be more on the left side of the blind. He had to be actually on the far left of the blind to be able to film and get good footage across the field. It'd come out and then it was pretty steep up to us. As the deer was coming across, we actually lost him for a little bit. And when he popped up on top of the hill, he was definitely within bow range. Had I been hunting by myself, it would have been I'd been more towards the middle of the blind, had an easy shot, but as it worked out this time, I had to be on the far right side of the blind and there was no way to get drawn on him.
Well, our luck continues. We just seen the big eight that we've seen several times. When he started across the field, we thought he was going to come right to us, but he got up the hill here and he took off, went to the right. He crossed in behind us back here about 35, 40 yards, but no way we could get a shot.
Well, this was our last chance with the bow to try to get him. It wasn't from lack of effort. We went day after day after day. We hunted some mornings, mostly evenings. We've been hunting hard every day. Really, really wanted to try to get one with the bow, but muzzleloader season's opening up, and it opens up in a whole new ball game where the effective range is a lot longer, and new strategies are going to come into play. Well, it was Christmas Day, and we decided we'd try to go hunting that evening. We both had a lot of family functions going on that day, and it was going to be hard to work it in, but that morning we got a little bit of snow. It was brutally cold. It was down the single digits, or going to be in the single digits that evening. I don't think it got much out of the teens all day. But with the combination of the cold and a little bit of snow on the ground, we knew we had to get in there and try to intercept them because they'd be coming to the food source, hopefully kind of early that day. We hadn't been in the blind a real long time when we had a familiar buck come out. He came out probably 150, 200 yards away. Came out in the field a little ways. He was on a beeline for the food source. This buck, certain buck, we call him Caribou. He had a wild rack, but he was real long main beam. We'd seen him a couple times before. He came out there, went a little ways, and I guess he caught a little wind or caught our scent a little bit, and he turned, went back in the woods. We've been sitting there a little while after caribou deer left, and we're kind of cutting up, carrying on, kind of trying to keep Kevin in good spirits since his back was killing him. He caught a glimpse of the wide 8-pointer across the creek. It's a little clearing over there where you could see, and seen him come off the hill from their bedding ground, and he was headed towards us.
I don't think you can get steady on that side enough, dude. I think he's going to come. I'm not steady. Let me try. It's definitely him. He's going to come out somewhere over this stuff. He's right there. I'm ready whenever you can get a shot. I can't see him now.
think you got him pretty good, didn't you?
Yep. I was on him solid. I was on him solid. Bam, baby.
That's why you don't shoot the caribou right there.
That is exactly why you let them walk. Alright, it's Christmas Day. What a present. We decided it was cold today. Snowed this morning. We decided the deer would be moving. It happened. We've been hunting this buck hard. We've been hunting, we hunted him 2 weeks during bow season. Seen him a few times, but just never in range. And he was on the hit list. We had him set out. This is the main buck we were after during muzzleloader season. And on Christmas Day, it happened.
There's 3 main things that I'm going to always remember about this hunt. 1, Kevin couldn't hardly walk, much less get down to the blind that day. 2, it was unbelievably cold. Not only while we were hunting, but for the hour that Kevin made me take pictures after the hunt was over. And how neat it was to see when we got back and reviewed the footage, be able to see the muzzleloader bullet from the time it picked it up in the view of the picture all the way to the deer. I'd always heard about that, but I never knew it was really possible to do. It was definitely the best Christmas gift I could have ever received.
Well, that's how it all got started. We killed a few bucks that first year, and the rest is history. And make sure you go to our website at buckaddiction.com and check out all of our new membership packages.